We're a revolutionary movement. We're coming back to our land. Jewish people are strong. Jewish people are back. Jewish people are big, bold, beautiful, and badass. Give strong answers, look mighty, look big, people will respect you. Give wimpy answers, you act as though you're just an occupier, that you don't deserve this land. There's a word that I don't like, it's called status quo. Somebody says to me, well, that's against the status quo on the Temple Mount. I'm like, you bet it is. You bet it's against the status quo. Okay, everybody, shalom. Hey, everybody, shalom, come on. Come on, a little energy for God's sakes. Let me tell you a word I don't like in this world. There's a word that I don't like, it's called status quo. Status quo. I don't like no status quo. The Jewish people's return to the land of Israel is anything but status quo. Status quo is that we're not in our land, and that we have no rights, and that we have no strength. That's status quo. Coming back to our land is the opposite of status quo. Somebody says to me, well, that's against the status quo on the Temple Mount. I'm like, you bet it is. You bet it's against the status quo. That's what it's all about. We're against the status quo. We're a revolutionary movement. We're coming back to our land. We're changing the status quo. Jewish people are strong. Jewish people are back. Jewish people are big, bold, beautiful, and badass. You understand? We're not like, yes, the status quo is different now. So don't give me status quo. Well, of what? Of 70 years? There's no status quo. We're changing. We're moving. And that's why things are changing all around. October 7th, what do you want us to stay after October 7th? Status quo. No. Of course not. Things have to change. Actually, what changed in my heart after October 7th? What mental realization did I have and people that I represent here in Hebron? What was the thing that really changed in our hearts? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing changed. What was supposed to change? We told them that they're jihadists. We told them not to give away the land. We told them not to give weapons. We told them it's a bad idea. We told them it's going to explode one day. I went back and I watched my own stuff that we were doing. We were putting out in 2005. I was working for Arutz Sheva. Looked at what we were saying. We said, if you give them the land, they're going to become terrorists. They're going to dig tunnels and who knows what else. So nothing changed. The only thing that changed is the opportunity, the time, the moment. There is a change. Not for people like us, but there is a movement more towards that kind of consciousness. Jewish strength, Jewish identity, closer to Torah, closer to nationalist way of thinking, more people keeping Shabbat, more people understanding that we shouldn't give away the land. These things are linked. My mother, God bless her, made Aliyah a few years ago, came back to the land of Israel, and today she goes up to the Temple Mount every week. Every week she's on the Temple Mount. She's a guide on the Temple Mount. And now, my very young mother, thank God, bows down fully. I got to see my mom. I went up with her a few weeks ago. She's bowing down like this on the ground to the God of Israel on the Temple Mount. So that's not status quo. That's a big change. My name is Yishai. I'm the spokesman for the Jewish community of Hebron. I am a councilman in the city of Efrat. I am a YouTuber. I graduated from law school. I married a Texan girl. We got married here in 2002 here in Hebron. We came from New York City. That Muslim the great New York City, you know. We came from there and got married here at the special place. That was the height of the Second Intifada. We helped renew the idea of getting married here in Hebron. And years later, I got a job to be the spokesman here, which is the greatest honor, because there's no greater honor than working for some of the greatest Jews in the world, the most famous. Sometimes people say to me, you're famous. I'm famous. I'm not famous. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, they're famous. Okay, I also got the great lesson. I lived many years on the Mount of Olives. There's a big community there. And in that community, I lived there, and I lived close to the cemetery and walked through a cemetery every day. You learn a lesson about being famous. You learn a lesson about, you're here for a short amount of time. Do your thing. Come out with a good name. A few people like Avraham Avinu are famous. That's fine. That's fine. And that's going to be before us, and it's going to be after us. And this amazing building, just an opportunity to work for them and this site, and really the Jewish nationalism, the Jewish peoplehood, and for God of Israel, it's a real blessing. It's a real zechut. Zechut. You know what the word zechut means? Zechut, a merit. It's a merit. But there's a lot of issues. The Jewish state is not a simple thing. It's not easy for a lot of Jews to be congregated in a small place. There's a lot of ego, a lot of issues, there's a lot of politics, There's a lot of different layers. We're smashing together a lot of different things. What is Israel? It's a quasi-socialist, communist, Turkish, British, slightly American, it's a smash. It's Sephardi. It's Ashkenazi. It's secular. It's Haredi. It's got a lot of things smashing together. So when you have a place like Hebron where there's a lot of different interests, not to mention the Arabs, okay, the Arabs and the Euros and the Americans. One day they're nice. A different president, they're not so nice. Okay, remember, right before Trump, we had Biden, right? Right? We have these periods where like a guy like me's got to shift gears between Obama. We got to shift gears between like keep these guys at bay to okay, let's work together to make the Middle East, with a great vision, a great light. Right now we have relatively an amazing American administration, but we also have this thing on the like we didn't have enough problems. Now we have the woke right. We knew at least how to talk about the left, and we knew about the left jihadi alliance. Now on the right, we've got Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, and I mean really the old anti-Semitism. We kill babies. I think I heard that before. Okay, we steal all the money. Such classic anti-Semitic tropes instead of realizing what a blessing Israel is for the world and certainly for America. So that is the many various issues that we deal with. And Baruch Hashem, we're so very thankful that we have the opportunity to be part of it. That's a key thing. If you can't get I think that so much of life is about attitudes. What's the attitudes? The attitude is there's a lot of problems, but are we positive about this time? Sometimes I tell people, do you realize that we as Jewish people, we think this is the greatest time in Jewish history? With all the problems, we have to say that every day. Modeh, thank you Hashem. This is the greatest time in Jewish history. It's a troubled time, just like all other times, for God's sakes. Every generation they try to kill us. But this is a great generation. And as was said before by my new best friend, that we need to be activated in every single way. Activated in every single way. I tell my donors, I write them, I make them videos, I write them, I'm like, you could go to sleep tonight knowing that you built Israel. We got to be part of building Israel. We got to be part of building Yerushalayim. We got to be part of this great time. We got to be part of building Hebron. We got to be part of it. Okay, that's the end of my speech. I'm done with my speech. Now it's time, forgot to warn you, it's time for your questions. It's time for what's on your mind. I could talk forever, but I want to hear what you're thinking. So raise your hand, ask a question. Don't be embarrassed, I can handle anything. If you need marital advice, I could do that as well. And but when you ask a question, then please also tell me what's your name, where you're from, so I get a sense. Bavakasha.
I'm in Goldstein, Kfar Saba.
Okay.
You mentioned the blood
Formerly from?
Philadelphia. You mentioned about the blood libel.
Philly, yeah, all right.
You mentioned about the blood libels and we kill babies. In my life, I never thought a general from the IDF would tell the world that our soldiers kill babies. Mm-hmm. Why is that man not rotting in jail?
She's talking about what? Yair Golan?
That's the one.
Dude's got issues, okay? Dude's got serious issues. But you know what? I got to tell you, the more he voices his stuff, the more people are like, this is a nutty way of thinking. People like, he's actually making people who kind of thought like him be like, I don't want to be associated with this guy. I don't want to go in that direction. The Achilles heel of the left, how does the left draw itself? It says, in general, this is globally, not just here in Israel. They say, we are intellectual. We went to the Sorbonne or to Oxford. We wear suit and tie. We're the elite. We're here to give you something. And we are uber rational. We are scientific. And we have, the path. You are nutty, religious, right-wing, warmongering. And they have this whole thing that they say to you, you're nuts. And you just want to kill. We are enlightened. We should be the elect, and we should be the controlling thing. That's how they posture themselves. Their Achilles heel is when they start going nutty. And they do. Because they're not rooted in anything, and because their snobbishness and hoity-toityness is their stance. When they become nutty, they reveal themselves. For example, in America, you can say, I want equality for men and women, but you're starting to put trans people, men, in women's sports, people are like, that guy's beating this girl up and in a boxing ring, or he's running faster, or he's swimming faster. There's something nutty about that. So when they go nutty, or when they say there's no genders, I don't know what a gender is, I don't know what bathroom I should put here. When they go nutty, people look back and people remember normal people are normative. So they sit back and they go, no, these guys are nutty. And so too Yair Golan. In many ways, he's nutty, okay? And his hate, his visceral hate, and his hold on to what he perceives as his Israel, the Israel that his mom and papa built and that he's a boss of, it's obvious that he's losing the grip. And more young people are moving, and we have this documented, towards nationalism, towards Shabbat, away from giving away our land. They're all tied in. So he, in a sense, is a kind of force which I look at as semi-positive, okay? And of course it's sad to see that. But just so you know, most people are like, no. All right? Yes, ma'am.
Ilana, from you work a lot with the Christians, right? The American Christians. Do you see any of them like being swayed by what Tucker tells them? And
the question is whether American Christians, American conservatives, just parenthetically, just as a parenthetical thing, because I'm a rabbi and because I have a religious kind of place here, I prefer to deal with my colleagues more on the conservative framing than on the Christian framing. I prefer to do it more like, I prefer to talk to conservatives. I deal with a much broader swath of people. They could be part of a church, or they could be part of the NRA, or they could be part of CPAC. It's a broader swath than just Christians, okay? Just a little point. MAGA people, not everybody's a Christian. Trump himself is not a big Christian. Okay. That's just a side point. Are they swayed by Tucker Carlson? No doubt about it. That's already proven mathematically. It's out there. It's clear. What, you think that Tucker is a joke? By the way, another parenthetical thing. My posture is always to take my enemies seriously, and even more seriously. There's a Jewish thing out there which I hate. A Jewish thing out there. Oh, Mamdani, he's got no power. He's going to have to ask the governor for money. He can't do anything. That is the wrong way of looking at things. By the way, that comes from a deep fear. That's the intellectual backing of it. I'm not into that. I would say no. Mamdani is quite dangerous. Tucker Carlson is a very serious anti-Israel agitator. And he's harping on very classic memes, very classic ideas that are already there. That's an easy mode to buy into. So he's just playing on classic modes. And yes, of course, it resonates with a lot of people. Not to mention that the state of Israel many times actually acts in the way that he paints us. A lot of times we give sissy answers. Weak answers. Do you remember when I was a kid? You guys remember it? There used to be these commercials for garbage bags. It was like, wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Hefty, hefty, hefty. You remember those?
Yes, I do.
Wimpy stinks, okay? But Jews and Israel gives wimpy answers. No, it's only disputed land. We control 53% of Gaza. That's great. But the other guys are really bad. Look what they're doing. Wimpy answers, constantly wimpy answers. Instead of understanding the moment in Gaza is to erase the Hamas. Netanyahu just went to Trump. He's like, they still have 60,000 Kalashnikovs. Yeah, bro. You let them keep 60,000 Kalashnikovs. Get rid of them. Trump said to you 10 times, take the land, you should never give away the land, get rid of these guys, bring hell on them. What does hell mean anyway? It means something. So the point is that give strong answers, look mighty, look big, people will respect you. Give wimpy answers, you act as though you're just an occupier, that you don't deserve this land, you're holding on to your homeland, you still don't call it part of your land, you still let other people call it West Bank, occupied land. The Jews, let's say AIPAC, still calls it the West Bank when many states and the American government's like, no, call it Judea and Samaria. So we are behind the bigness, and we allow people like Tucker with their rhetoric which tries to say that Israel and Jews are conniving, we allow them to make sense. If we were big and bold, people would be like, whoa, Israel's back. Remember, friends, when did people like Israel? Did they like us What did they like us better, after the 6-Day War or after the Oslo Accords? We're like, we're going to give away our land for peace. Did people like that? Nobody liked that. People started hating us. When we came big, took the Sinai, took Jerusalem, took Golan Heights, took Gaza, took Judea and Samaria, people were like, whoa, shnia, 1 second. So people respected us. When did people respect us in this whole war? The beeper thing, right? Whoa, beepers. So keep going with it. Keep going with the beepers. I have a little message for the state of Israel. Hit him again. Hit him again. Finish them off. And Baruch Hashem, it is happening. Wait. So the answer is yes. Tucker is serious. Take him seriously. Answer him with big messaging. Yes, sir.
Why the Hamas is still wimpy, I'm sorry to tell you. It's still halfway. It's posing as non-wimpy. The real non-wimpy is we expel all Arabs, first from Gaza, and then we'll see. That's not wimpy.
You're absolutely right.
You understand that it's like saying we're gonna wipe out the Red Army, but the Russians are great. There is no such thing. Not just in Arab world. There is no. We have enemies. We need to treat them as such. And now Carlson is hard because Carlson we've been really used for years to revere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he did a great job on us.
The guy turns on the dime.
Yeah.
And goes. But then again, it's our approach. So what? So what? Look at what he says. It's actually in our favor. He says we control the world. Yes, we do. You know?
He doesn't say we control the world. That's Fuentes.
Oh, whatever.
He doesn't say that a lot. He actually says that we're a conniving lot undermining the security and stability of the United States and using them. But in any case, listen,
we're great at that.
your point that there's even a bigger message is true. But I have to tell you, you're right. I don't disagree with you. I don't know if I would say all Arabs. I would say all jihadis and anybody who supports jihad of any sort. And they should have been out. And the way to have fought this war, first thing, let's give Netanyahu credit. He did a lot here. And the region, many people in the region, let's give him credit. A lot of people in the region, a lot of Arabs in the region, and certainly Iran. Let me tell you from the Iranian point of view, like they got hit in Gaza, they got hit in Hamas, they got hit on their home turf. They have no arms and legs. They are really, now they're poor, and now they just got hit again in Venezuela, and they're getting hit now with Somaliland is an anti-Houthi thing. They got hit and hit and hit and hit. And okay, you know, so the final hit of the deposing, the various forces clearly want the people themselves to do it and not to have been, because liberation at the end, you have to liberate yourself. You know what I mean? You have to liberate.
That's the point I've been making.
Yeah, you have to liberate yourself.
And when you say jihadist, here's the issue. The issue is you place everything under religion, which is not everything.
No, jihadist is not a religious concept. I don't agree with that. Jihad is both a national, just like there's religious and secular Zionism. Yeah. Jihad is a broad thing. Yasser Arafat always used the word jihad. So jihad, I mean to say, it could be nationalism, it could be whatever you want to call it. Anti-Israelism, I'm just putting it as one category. If you hate Israel and you want to destroy Israel, you can't be in our borders or on our borders. Okay? And even in the long range will get you. Yes, so wait, I like to do man-woman. So give it, yes.
Judicial reform.
Jiu-jitsu? Judicial reform. Okay, before I turned on the microphone here, I started explaining a deep concept which is hard to hear. Israel's a blue state. Israel's a blue state in many things. When it comes to guns, Israel's a blue state. When it comes to LGBT, Israel is a blue state. When it comes to the Supreme Court and the power of courts, it's a very, very, very blue state. And what's bluer than blue? I don't know. Ultraviolet, you know what I mean? Very blue state. Okay, very blue state. It has no normal checks and balances. And I can go on and on and on. It's a very problematic thing. The Israel, as I explained before, is like Brooklyn. Blue, with a strong red streak, okay, which is the traditional Jews, okay? Okay, so I love Brooklyn, but Brooklyn is blue, very blue. New York is blue. I'm taking something where there's the Jews, because the nationalist, traditional Jews, they're like a swath of very red inside of blue. That's what Israel is. By the way, blue, as a spectrum, breaks into 4 colors. Blue state, like a blue state, breaks into 4 colors. One color is rainbow. That's a color that blue breaks into. It breaks into red, socialist communist. Okay, so blue Mamdani is a socialist communist red. Okay? It also breaks into green environmentalist and green jihad. Okay, green jihad. So Mr. Mamdani is both a red, commie red, and a green jihadi. Okay? He's an Obama 2.0, better looking, just charismatic guy. Never underestimate him. Powerful dude. But that's what, and look at what's her name, Greta Thunberg. She's a green environmentalist, green jihadi, green environmentalist, green jihadi. See? So that's where it goes down. Here in Israel, we have a very strong blue state, and so about many things, it's blue. It has rainbow, not so much, but it has rainbow. It has environmentalism, UNism, courtism. It has socialism is actually its blood. Okay, it is a socialist country. I'm telling you, I am now a city councilman. I can tell you the whole system is socialist all the way through. Okay, and by the way, there's some things that it works. It's not all bad, but it's socialism, and we have here huge pro-jihadism. We have a huge pro-jihadism here. Pro-two-state solution. Look at this government, super right-wing government, hasn't yet gotten rid of Oslo. We still have many signs. We're still paying money to the PA. We're still funding these guys who call for a murder every day. So we have a strong blue color that breaks into a strong pro-green color, pro-jihad color, and I could go on and on about various ways where that comes into play. And so the Supreme Court is one of those things. We try to minimize that red coloration, that commie red type of coloration, but it was suppressed, and we were not able to break through. I want to tell you, during the time of the Maccabees, there was this thing called the Chakra, where it was like an estate, a palace, it was super defended, where the Hellenites defended themselves. It took like 100 years to take away that Chakra. Meaning to say, sometimes I say the Supreme Court is our Chakra today. It's like where the Hellenists hang out. It's not so easy to even shrink them.
Where do you think it's going?
Well, the other side of that is that we have a strong red, nationalist, traditional, conservative voting. Our voting bloc is definitely something like 60-70% to the right. And our youth is moving to the right. So that is why the Supreme Court's so powerful. Because they realized that they're not going to get it through the voters. We out-baby them, we out-educate them, we out-common sense them. And so therefore they decided that the way to keep control of their country was through the Supreme Court. So we had round one, and they knocked us right in the face, and we fell back down. Okay?
So did California, by the way, back then, with all the gay marriage and stuff. They couldn't get it through.
Okay, so we lost that, but it's the march keeps going, and Bezrat Hashem, you're not going to stop the demographic and ideological change of this country. You're not going to stop it. It is changing, it's happening, and this war certainly, what's the word I'm looking for? Catalyzed. Is that the right way to say it? Catalyzed the momentum in the other direction. Lady, gentleman, yes, sir. What, Ir Yamim?
Sorry?
Ir Yamim, where are you at there, Netanya? Yofi. Kol hakavod.
What's the present population of Hebron and in general the Shtachim, and what has been the growth pattern over the last few years?
Okay, so first thing, you said the word Shtachim, which means territories. Not the worst word in the world. I would say we should from now on start referring to Judea and Samaria. If you wanted to not use the word Judea and Samaria, I would call it the Israeli territories. So simple. America's got territories. We have territories. You haven't fully annexed and taking them into Israel? Okay, but you control territories. Just call it the Israeli territories. Such a simple change. Such a simple change. Judea and Samaria, the Israeli territories. It's simple. Exactly like Puerto Rico. It's so simple. Well, anyway, so that's one. Number two is you asked about population. We have about, it depends how you count it, but we have 600,000 Jews living in the areas liberated in 1967. That includes Judea and Samaria and Eastern Jerusalem. Practically 1 in 11 Israelis lives in Judea and Samaria. Don't forget we have big cities like Ma'ale Adumim and Ariel, etc. Efrat today has 14,000 people. Kiryat Arba here, our sister city, has 9,000 people. We want to grow. The Israeli bureaucracy keeps it slow. Whoever's making money off of it keeps it slow, you know. The supply and demand, they figured the socialist way of thinking is there's a very limited pie, keep it very tight, and then everything will be expensive. That's that instead of opening it up to, you know, homesteading and other ways of thinking. The population of Hebron, we have about 1,000 Jews living in Hebron. We got 9,000 in our sister city, Kiryat Arba. We got about, together that makes 10,000 people living in the Hebron, Kiryat Arba, Hebron area. The bad news is there's about 250,000 Arabs that live in this city, so it's 10,000 Jews versus about 250,000 Arabs. But even worse is that this whole region south of Gush Etzion, from Gush Etzion to Beersheba, Judea, the heartland of the Jewish people, has about 22,000 Jews living amongst 800,000 Arabs. So the state of Israel has failed to settle this land properly, giving us property. That's what I meant to say, but they've failed to settle it properly. And we are trying to push that along right now, but it is underdeveloped and it is economically not so strong. We really don't have something here big in Judea. Judea, by the way, lags behind Samaria. Samaria is more developed. It's closer to Tel Aviv. It has bigger cities. It has a university, etc. We don't have that south of Gush Etzion. And so I think for myself, for example, I help hilltops. I help develop all these outlying places, whatever I can do. But I don't work so much in Samaria because they're stronger than us. So I'm focused on developing Judea. I believe that developing Judea is a national goal. There's other places that are weak, like the Jordan Valley. Certainly Judea. Who said? When was the last time you heard somebody tell you in the news? Yeah, Judea's weak. We got to settle Judea. We got to build Judea up. No, they never say it. They never say it. By the way, another word that I realized this the other day, here's a government word, here's a word that our government never uses, efficiency. That's not a socialist word because if it was efficient, you wouldn't need so many bureaucrats. But when I say all these problems, please understand that, again, back to what I said before, the posture has got to be positive. We will, we shall, we are, we're building, we're taking over. We got to have that inside. When I say these things, it's not so you can come out and be like, oh crap, Yishai said situation is bad. No, it's to tell you that we have a lot of work to do to develop this land, to kick out the Oslo idea, to take away those horrific red signs, to kick jihadis out, to bring any nations, goyim, people that want to live in our land, to bring them under the law of Israel, subdue any jihadist inclination, and have decent people. I heard yesterday, I interviewed Chuck Holton. He goes, what does the army want to do? The army wants to do evil to evil people. And that's what we got to do. We got to do evil to evil people. We got to get rid of evil people so that good people can flourish, Jews and non-Jews that want to live in our land and be part of Israel. So we got to be strong. We got to want to be big. That is the Israeli illness, not wanting to be big. We got to want to be big. Look at Erdogan. Whatever you think of him, dude wants to be big, okay? And we gotta be Middle Eastern, want to be big. We gotta stop wanting to be a good and moral, and we're peace loving, and we'll do everything for peace, and we have a moral army. Forget all that stuff. That stuff does not work. You gotta be big. You gotta rule, because when Israel's big, more people have a better life. There's more prosperity. There's more goodness in this world. When we shrink and jihad takes over, that's bad for the world. Yes, ma'am.
I was supposed to be after the last lady.
Okay, so go ahead. Okay. You want to be a pushy Israeli? I'll let you win. Go ahead. Go ahead. I like it. I like pushiness. Pushiness wins in my book. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Wait, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Moshe Brody. I'm from, I live in Kfar Saba with my wife Sheila. We're some friends here.
Kol hakavod.
We're part of the IDSF. Okay.
Baruch Hashem. Love the IDSF. Amazing org.
The one thing I think that has been the huge elephant in the room, nobody's ever talked, is the fact that most Jews are delusional. They have delusional thinking.
Remember to finish with a question mark. Huh? Yeah, go ahead.
All right, what can we do about that? Because I think one of the things about October 7th is it got rid of a lot of the delusions. A lot of Jews had delusions, they have lost them. Mm-hmm. But we got to do that without having to suffer massacres and stuff like that. So what do you say about that?
You're just a little bit older than I am. You've been around the block. It's not so easy to change Jewish minds, but we got to educate. I find that Jews are remarkably ill-informed about history, about tradition, and generally speaking, we have to get into a much bigger educational swing in general. And so that's one. And we have these earthquakes. Sometimes when Jews don't listen, the Talmud says that the ring that Achashverosh gave to Haman did more than 48 prophets. That's what the Talmud says. When he gave him the ring, when he got the ring of power, that did more than when all these Isaiah and Ezekiel talking to the Jews. So sometimes, I wish it wasn't so, but sometimes the big black boot of anti-Semitism wakes Jews up, and October the 7th was a wake-up. Stop doing stupid things. Stop giving away your land to your enemies. I want to remind you, Moshe, I want to remind you that Netanyahu was passing $15 million a month from Qatar to Hamas. That's a fact. So we are doing stupid things, and stupid things explode in our face, and things change. Listen, let me say to you something very positive. One of the greatest changes that has happened is Channel 14. Channel 14, it's an amazing thing. Channel 14 is a big, fat consciousness changer. And it's working. It's working. It's big, and it's getting a lot of people. I go into people's houses, Channel 14 is playing.
Underestimate your enemy.
Never underestimate your enemy. Never. You should overestimate your enemy. Take them seriously. By the way, speaking of underestimating our enemy, there's one Middle East country which has outsized influence, controls media, controls politicians, has tons of money in Washington, owns tons of property in New York City and in London, all these places. And that outsized power in a small country in the Middle East is not Israel. Okay? It's another country. So these guys are serious. Take them seriously.
2 missiles from Israel taught them a little lesson.
Maybe they're still strong. Okay, last question. Here we go. Come on, who's the last question? Yes, Giveret.
The one thing that you did not.
Did you ask a question already? No? Okay, go ahead. Yes. Keep fighting. Kol hakavod.
Thank you for the finale.
Kol hakavod. Yes, ma'am.
I just recently made Aliyah from Englewood, New Jersey.
Not easy to leave Englewood. Beautiful place.
I totally agree.
Beautiful place. Not easy to leave it.
Even convincing our friends is incredibly challenging. Most people are looking at it as, again, shalosh regalim concept.
Halavai. It should be great. People should come here 3 times a year. We're good. Listen, buy an apartment, come 3 times a year. Baruch Hashem. Come once a year. Make it, that's part of your thing. I always tell you, buy an apartment. Buy an apartment. I don't say, Aliyah's big. You did it. Good for you. God bless you. Not everybody could do it. I say to people, buy an apartment. Regalim? Halavai, every Jew should have the ability. And wait, I'm sorry, you just got me on an emotional issue. Regalim, the state of Israel. Regalim, by the way, just for the people who don't know what that means, it means the 3 festival holidays. Okay, the 3 festival. The Torah says you're supposed to come up to Jerusalem. But the state of Israel, is it expensive or cheap to fly in on Sukkot? Woo! You got to be a $500,000 at least, okay? If not come on, State of Israel, charter planes. State of Israel, make it cheap. We got sales on. Think Black Friday is big? We got when it's Regalim time. You're a student. You're coming in for $300. You're coming into Israel. By the way, Israeli tourism. In our max, we had 4 million. The max we ever had, 4 million. Right now, we're down to 1 million because of the war. How many people come into Spain every year? 94 million. Okay? So we got the Holy Land. We got the Bible land. People are afraid to come here. And it's also expensive. Expensive. So, Regalim, Alavai, let's make it easy for people to come during the Regalim. Elal, I love Elal. I'm an Elal guy. I'm Elal all the way, man. I was platinum recently reduced because I haven't flown a while. But that hurts a little. But Elal, is that a cheap airline? Come on.
Okay, so that being said, I'd like your take because I'm very, very much aligned with your energy and your value of being positive with regards to the land. What do we do with regards to unity of the people inside? And especially with regards to service, I'm coming from a direction where my 5th generation American kids, 2 out of 3 of them served here. and 2 out of 3 of them made Aliyah. So I can comment with regards to, say, those that are very, very right-wing and religious and say somehow God's going to make this incredible miracle and the Beit HaMikdash is going to fall out of the sky.
I got your point. So, Kol HaKavod, great question, and of course you've earned your stripes. You've done a lot. You've made Aliyah. You have land in the land of Israel. Kids serve in the army. That's a lot, and Kol HaKavod, really Kol HaKavod. That by the way is education, and that is also not as it's your education. You're educating your kids, but your kids also other people see it. Israelis see it. So it's a big. See what I'm saying? Like at the end. What do we do? It's like more like what you've done. You've done it, and you're doing it, and that says a lot to you. The Englewood people, and you're going to send them pictures, and you're going to go to Marat HaMachpelah today. You're going to post it. That does a lot of work by itself. With regarding to unity, Jewish unity, the answer is, it's just going to take more time. It's going to take more time. We're really smashing together many, many cultures. It's going to take some generations to iron out our differences. I'm married to a Hungarian lady, a Hungarian Jewish, she's born in Texas, but Hungarian family. I'm like Polish family. It's a mixed marriage, okay? It's a mixed marriage. It's 2 different things. Hungarian and Polish is 2 different things on many, many levels. And I make a lot of jokes about it. It's very funny, but like, huh?
It's a whole different.
It's a different thing. It's a different gefilte fish, like he said. Different gefilte fish.
Who's American?
I eat her gefilte fish.
Parisian.
Okay.
That's even
Yeah,
worse.
so I'm saying it takes time. It's gonna take time. We're gonna have to have patience. Kodesh Baruch Hu is ironing that out, and it's working. Ashkenazim are marrying Sephardim, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's working. We're just gonna have to be more time. There's just gonna have to be patience.
You think it's about time, huh?
No, I just think yes. I think that in the end,
Don't we need to do something?
I'm just saying
Creating such a negative posturing.
Negative posturing. My mom says to me that today's Israel is way more unified than the Israel of the 70s. It's way more together. So we are.
Antonella was worse.
Yeah, we're moving. It's going to take time. I want to say something to you. Just one second. There's a lot of issues coming in, and I got to finish up exactly. So a lot of pressures here. That's good. It's Jewish. I'm just saying to you. Listen, we're not gonna solve everything. You and I could come up with big ideas, and sometimes there's big people who could change things. I don't know, for some reason Steinsaltz came into my head, or I don't know. It's people that do big changes. Different people do great changes, and they have big schut. But Lubavitcher Rebbe, I don't know. There's people who can do big things. Not everybody can do such big things. Itamar Ben Gvir made a big change on the Temple Mount. There's people who make these changes that shifts, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Vis-a-vis the army, I must say to you, serving in the army is a zechut, it's a merit. And we that are pro-army should not always talk about it like, when are you going to go to the army? When are you going to go to the army? We should talk about this. We have the zechut. If you don't see it, it's your problem. You don't understand what you're missing. It's one of the greatest things. But even the ultra-Orthodox are changing today. They just had a big hashbah, big induction ceremony at the Kotel of this new Hashmonaim thing. It's moving. Ben Gvir told me many times. I heard him say to audiences many times. He says, listen, I made these Magav border patrol units that are for the ultra-Orthodox. They're quietly moving in there. Things are changing. They come from their place. We're not going to beat them over the head. We're not going to make them into the bad guys. We're going to continue to move it ahead. We're going to move people into the workforce. We're going to move people into the army, and they're going to get it by themselves. And then they're going to change the army, make the army more Jewish, more, less what they accuse us of being more, not us. They accuse the secular of doing secular indoctrination. It's moving in the right direction, Bezrat Hashem. I want to bless you. God bless you. Continue to be strong out there. We all, as I like to say about Israel, you may not have a job, but you certainly have a tafkid. Okay? We have a lot to do here, Bezrat Hashem. God bless you. Toda rabba.
That was the best answer. The last one.
Toda rabba. You're going to WhatsApp me today. Today I want you to WhatsApp me.